Okay, the glasses are coming off, and it's almost time to Vegas. So let's hit up this week's Vegas Weekly. Ready? Hey everybody, welcome back to Vegas Weekly for Saturday, February the 6th, 2021. If you've got a Valentine, it's only 8 days away, so be sure to buy him something, I guess. Not a lot of news in Vegas again this week. Most of what we've heard has been kind of positive. We have seen some case reductions, hospitalizations, ICU admissions, deaths, all declining in the state of Nevada, despite the fact that the state has been sort of lagging in terms of getting the vaccine out. The governor trying to make some changes there. We'll see how that goes. Also some scuttlebutt about what I've heard mostly this week is bookings are a bit more solid. We're seeing more folks planning to travel to Las Vegas. And there are possibly more shows, restaurants that could be reopening. So we'll see how that goes. There's some possibility that we might see occupancy rise back up to the 50% level, but we will see. This weekend likely to be very busy with the big game. I better not use the other word. I might get shot down by some sort of copyright rule, but there are some places that are apparently booked more or less to capacity and are really only admitting hotel guests. So those are all good signs for Las Vegas that we're seeing more folks coming to town. Hopefully that will boost the economy, and hopefully things will continue to improve as far as the health issues in the state of Nevada. We do have a number of folks who, of course, are in Las Vegas right now. Our good friends, Tamara and Gord, still in the midst of perhaps the longest vacation ever. I think their anniversary might be coming up here very soon. I believe that's sometime in the month of February, so we wish them well. Definitely follow their channel. I'm sure you already are, as they've been doing a lot of live streams and also a lot of collaborations with other channels. Particularly, I know the last couple of days, the one and only Cinnamon Girl has been in town. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of footage there and always entertaining. I think she's got something coming up with Mark Anderson, who's not in Vegas, but it almost seems like he is because he keeps popping up everywhere. In related news, this is the first time that Mark has not, in fact, booked and or canceled a trip to Las Vegas in 37 weeks. So that's a very big milestone for him. Along those same lines, I should be arriving in Las Vegas in about 15 days. Pretty excited about that. It's kind of sneaking up on me. Wanted to announce that I have booked my hotels. I know that's pretty early for me. I usually wait until the very, very last minute. But had a couple of offers that I wanted to grab onto. Had originally planned to just spend the entire trip on the Strip, but wanted to get downtown, check out Circa, and got a really interesting email offer from the Plaza, which is literally right across the street, for up to 3 free nights. So I'm going to be staying the first 2 nights at the Plaza. I think it's just a basic room, but free other than the resort fee. And that'll put me in very, very close proximity to Circa, as well as enjoy playing in the Plaza Casino as well. So appreciate them for extending that offer. Obviously, things have been a little, difficult for a lot of the hotels. So getting a room like that comped, it's not really me. It's just the situation. But looking forward to that. Really didn't spend much of any time downtown on the last trip other than our Keno live pull at the D. I think we were there maybe a couple of hours, and that's the only casino we visited. So we'll look forward to checking that out, and obviously checking out Circa. Second two nights, I'm going to go to the opposite extreme. I'm going to be staying at Delano, and I believe that's how it actually is supposed to be pronounced, just like the middle name of the 33rd President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, from what I understand. 2 nights comped in a scenic suite. It's like 741 square feet. I think it's just basically on a corner. It'd be very cool if I could get that facing to the north to check out the whole strip. I stayed at the Delano a few years back, also for a couple of nights. Really liked it. So be back on the south end of the strip for a couple of nights there, and then of course moving over to the Wynn for my very last night, and probably my very last night enjoying a Wynn Slots app reward. Unless things change, who knows. But so that's what we've got going on. Plaza 2 nights, Delano 2 nights, Wynn 1 night, and obviously looking forward to that, hoping that everything holds together and we're able to do that in just a couple of weeks. Along those lines, I had thought about doing a live stream this Wednesday. Actually, I thought about doing one last Wednesday. We're going to wait. We're going to do it on the 17th, Wednesday, February the 17th, and we'll do it as a preview of my trip with any other details that I may have come up with. I might book some restaurant reservations just so I've got some place to eat besides CVS. And there are going to be some other folks in town during the time I'm there. I know towards the end of the trip, I will definitely be meeting up with my friend Walt, the Frontiersman, which I rocked his shirt the last time I appeared on camera. And I believe the Kenos are coming to town also that Thursday night. And so hopefully we can get together with them, and maybe we'll do another live Keno poll. That might be fun. But either way, and I think there's a few other folks, I'll have to nail some of that information down over the next week or two, and we'll share it with you. So this next Wednesday, we're going to do another episode of the Wednesday show. Had a lot of positive feedback on last week's episode. So like I said, we're going to treat the Wednesday show as more of a vlog, but we are going to continue to talk about some of my Vegas memories. This week, I'm going to talk about my 2 road trips to Las Vegas. Is it a drive you want to make? We'll find out. And if you're driving to Las Vegas or in Las Vegas, you're probably going to want to avoid this week's cocktail of the week. In fact, you should avoid cocktails altogether. PJ has put together quite an interesting one this week. And so without any further ado, let's send it away to him and see what he's come up with for us. PJ?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fabulous episode of Cocktail of the Week with your host and not a professional bartender, PJ. Let's watch and see what fabulous cocktail PJ is whipping up for us today.
Hey, John, thanks again for another fabulous introduction. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing? John, how are you doing?
Doing good, PJ. Thanks for asking.
Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Cocktail of the Week. Today, I have a special treat for all you drinkers out there with a little sweet tooth. Like your drinks a little bit sweet? Well, today is your lucky day, because I've got a great drink in store for you. Today, our cocktail is going to have 4 spirits in it. Bailey's, butterscotch schnapps, vanilla vodka, Kahlua. If you guessed liquid Butterfinger, ladies and gentlemen, you are correct. That's right, we're going to be making a liquid Butterfinger. Usually this cocktail comes in shot form, but today I'm going to make it for you in a rocks glass. So are you ready? Let's get started. First thing we want to do is get some ice in our shaker. Oh! Then we're going to put the big ball in the rocks glass. set that aside for a little bit. First thing up, Bailey's. 1 ounce. All 4 of these ingredients is 1 ounce. Ooh, baby. 1 ounce of Bailey's. Oh, it's already smelling good just with the Bailey's. 1 ounce of Kahlua. And for the first time on this show, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be using butterscotch schnapps. Butterscotch schnapps, 1 ounce. Brand new bottle. First time using it, just opened it up. Just for you all. And last but not least, vanilla vodka, which we are just about out of this. We've made a bunch of drinks this season using vanilla vodka, and here is one more. I might need a little bit more of that. There we go. There can never be too much alcohol, right, John?
You can never have too much of these.
Alrighty. We've got that in there. A little housekeeping there. Get our lid on. And baby, let's commence the shake. Good 10-15 seconds. Get this good mixed up well. Of course, we like to go both sides on this. Oops. Equal opportunity shakes for everybody. You know, Valentine's is coming up pretty soon. I don't know if this is going to be a drink you're going to want to get that special someone. But stay tuned for next week. We'll have a Valentine's special cocktail. All right. Let's pour this puppy. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, that smells so good, ladies and gentlemen. This smells anywhere near, or tastes anywhere as good as it smells. You'll be in heaven. Now, for garnish, you gotta have a Butterfinger. We'll put that right on top, just like so. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the liquid Butterfinger. Oh yeah. John, cheers to you, sir.
Cheers to you, buddy.
My captivated audience, cheers to you. We're going to slide this away and oh, baby. Ah, man. I could see how dangerous these could be as shots. This is going to be one of those nice, enjoyable cocktails. You can just sit around and drink, but you're probably going to want to chug it down and get yourself another one right away. This is really, really good. Now, if you do decide to make shots with this, you can do the same thing. You might want to double or triple up your measurements to share with all your friends, because I guarantee everyone's going to want one of these. John, before I go today, I want to do just a couple more things. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let John know what a fantastic show he's doing. And most of all, please, we are so close to getting John to 10,000 subscribers. Hit that subscriber button. Tell 3 of your friends, tell them to tell 3 friends, and so on and so on. We'll have 10,000 subscribers in no time. How cool would that be? What a great Valentine's gift. You got like 7 days to get him 10,000 subscribers. All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is please drink responsibly. I'm going to take my Butterfinger and my liquid Butterfinger, and I am out of here. How am I going to do peace? Peace, everybody. Cheers.
Thank you for watching Vegas Weekly and Cocktails of the Week. Stay tuned for another fabulous cocktail coming up soon.
All right, that looks like a cocktail that if you didn't have a Valentine and you gave them that drink, they might be your Valentine. A little scary, but as is PJ. But thanks for all the kind words and for your continued contribution to the show. So our Vegas tips and tricks segment this week is going to kind of follow up on what we did last week. We've got a fair amount of positive feedback on this sort of general Vegas itinerary, and a lot of folks say, you know, all this stuff doesn't need to be unique every week. We can revisit some of the sort of basics of Las Vegas. So that's what we're going to do today. It's going to be Las Vegas 101, and it's primarily aimed at people who maybe haven't been to Las Vegas before or haven't been in some time. So, you know, if that's not you, I suppose this is the point in the program where you could, you know, opt out. But I hope that you'll listen in and also give any suggestions you might have. First of all, Las Vegas is in the desert. It gets hot in the summertime, but it does get cool in the wintertime. In fact, even cold. Desert climates typically don't have a lot of cloud cover, and you get a lot of temperature variations. So even in the summertime, when it gets very hot in the daytime, it can cool off quite a bit at night. So particularly if you're visiting Las Vegas in the wintertime or early spring or late fall, definitely going to want to make sure that you bring along a jacket, because in the evening hours you will need it. If you are flying into Las Vegas, and you probably will be, you'll be arriving at McCarran Airport, which is a fairly modern, fairly easy airport to navigate. There are a few things you need to know. There are 5 gates at McCarran Airport, A, B, C, D, and E. There are 2 terminals, but oddly enough, they are entitled Terminal 1 and Terminal 3. Terminal 2 went away quite some time ago. If you're an international traveler or you're arriving on certain airlines or certain charter flights, you're liable to fly into Terminal 3. Otherwise, you're more likely to fly into Terminal 1. The biggest airline flying in and out of Las Vegas is Southwest. They pretty much have all of Terminal C and much of Terminal B. There are plenty of food and beverage options, though not as many right now as there normally would be. There are also plenty of transportation options when you arrive. If you choose to rent a car, and I don't necessarily recommend this on a first trip unless you're planning to do a lot of activities outside the main strip and downtown areas, there is a shuttle that you can take that will take you to the car rental facility, which is several miles away. And from there, you'll pick up your rental car. There are also, of course, taxis. Taxis not quite so popular today as they were a few years ago, but there is a taxi line outside of both terminals. Typically, the wait time at Terminal 3 for taxis or Ubers and those sorts of things tends to be a little bit less because there's not as much traffic in and out of there. But regardless, the taxi lines can look a bit daunting. They move very quickly, however, so don't be concerned about that if you're a taxi person. But you can typically save anywhere from 25 to 50% if you use one of the ride-sharing services like Lyft and Uber. And you can follow the directions from the main luggage claim area to the pickup area there. It can still be a bit disorganized, particularly when it gets very busy. But again, it's a much cheaper option typically, unless there is surge pricing, which can take place during major events. It's also possible to take a bus or a hotel shuttle. Some off-strip properties, I believe, still offer a free shuttle. So if you're staying at one of those properties, definitely make arrangements in advance. One of the issues that many people have had with transportation to and from hotels in Las Vegas over the years, what's called long hauling. Cab drivers in particular taking out-of-the-way routes in order to sort of ramp up the fare that they're able to charge. Within the last year, the Taxi Cab Authority has set up flat rate pricing. to most all of the Strip locations, so you can see exactly what you're going to be charged, and there's no incentive for the cab driver to drive out of the way. Frankly, these are high prices. I'm not saying they're as high as they might have been prior if a cab driver did choose to long haul you, but they're kind of pricey, but at least you don't have to worry about that nearly as much. When you arrive at your hotel, you'll typically be dropped off in a valet area where you'll have easy access to hotel registration, but that's not always the case in Las Vegas. Las Vegas hotels are notorious for making you walk long distances with your luggage, and that's even possible at the check-in area, particularly if your cab or Uber driver drops you off at the wrong entrance. You obviously won't know that on a first trip, but there are numerous employees who can give you directions if you get lost, but expect to walk a lot. And along those lines, if you visit Las Vegas, make sure you bring along comfortable shoes. This is not the place to walk in heels all day and night, or you will suffer badly the next day. When you get to hotel registration, hopefully you're arriving sometime sort of mid-afternoon. That's the typical check-in time. There are properties that from time to time will require an early check-in fee, or may simply not have rooms available if you arrive in the morning or early afternoon. So it doesn't hurt to plan your arrival sometime mid-afternoon to avoid that. Right now, that's not as big a problem because the hotels themselves are not anywhere near occupancy. There is a so-called trick that you can try at hotel registration. It is the $20 trick. You simply, when you have to give out your driver's license and credit card, you can discreetly slip a 20 in between them and then smile broadly and ask if there's any complimentary upgrades available. Again, right now, there might be, because there's quite a bit of hotel occupancy available, particularly during the week. It is a gamble. The clerk might simply pocket the money and do nothing, or might conceivably say they gave you some kind of an upgrade, but really gave you the room you were going to get anyway. Las Vegas hotels are massive by almost any standards. Half of the biggest hotels in the world are on the Las Vegas Strip. So again, don't necessarily expect the greatest and most intimate customer service. There are people who will be glad to help you, but it is definitely more of an assembly line than it is an intimate property. There are some exceptions to that: Four Seasons, Cromwell, Waldorf Astoria, if you choose to pay the fare to stay there. Be sure to keep your hotel key with you at all times. You may have to show it in order to access the elevators to get back up to your room. It is important to maintain a vigilant eye in Las Vegas. There are people who will rip you off or try to rip you off. So make sure that you are safe, keeping an eye open at all time, making sure that when you're in the room it is locked and bolted. Lock up any valuables you have in the hotel safe, which almost any property will have. And be sure that you keep your wits about you at all time. It is easy to have a few too many cocktails and find yourself making poor decisions. Speaking of poor decisions, we will be back next Saturday with more tips on arriving in Vegas and things to do and things to avoid. And again, we'll be back with the Wednesday show sometime on Wednesday, probably midday. We'll have that premiered. If you want to see it earlier, you can join the channel. It will almost certainly be recorded on Tuesday and uploaded on Tuesday, but I don't typically open it up to the public until, like I said, midday sometime on Wednesday. So there you go. As I said, we'll be back Wednesday with the Wednesday show. We'll be back next Saturday with another episode of Vegas Weekly. Until then, I hope you have a great, lucky, and healthy week. We will see you soon.